I'm not sure if this is recorded, so I'm just gonna record you guys, so this way I can review later who was not listening. So don't pay attention to that. This is for me. So yeah, I just flew in from New York. I just arrived like an hour ago in Germany, and I'm leaving in 2 hours back to New York. So I really came just for that, and this is because like I'm really excited about this 45 minutes we have. I don't know how much time we have together, but I'm really excited about it. I think we can do something great about it, and I think I hope I'm gonna be able to bring you guys a lot of value, and feel free to interact during it's a conversation. I'm sure a lot of people in the room don't know anything about me, so I'm gonna start by trying to give you a lot of context about what I do, my art, and then after that we can talk about corporation social media, which is probably what interests you. But there's two things that are very separate in my life. There's my art on social media, and then there is me explaining brand what they should do. So I'm gonna show you very quickly I've lost the cable. Some stuff that I've done that will give you a lot of context. Can we review that? Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's coming.
Andi? Läuft?
No, not this one. Can we have this one?
Live-Bild, Andi. Live-Bild.
Don't start 5 minutes. Awesome. So let me start to explain you. Okay, so this is something I've done on Snapchat about 3-4 months ago. Let's do it this way. I went in front of the Flatiron building in New York. How can we do that better? Yes. And this is my foot. And I told people, I challenge you to do this today. At that time I had about 1.5 million followers on Snapchat, so 1.5 million people saw that, where I say, hey, I challenge you to do this today. I didn't really know what to expect, because Snapchat is a new platform even for me, and so what I received is 30,000 snaps of people doing it in Paris, in Lebanon, in Mexico, all over the world, food, which is awesome. Is I explained the reason why I was doing this is to challenge my fears of people's judgment. And when people do it, when all those kids do it around the world, they challenge themselves. And this is Brazil. This makes them grow. So this is so much more powerful than a like or a comment. Like, you're making people do things. So that's like one. This gives you a bit of context on what I do. A second thing. Oops. Let me go back. That's. So then, when I saw that everybody did that, and I was pretty proud of everyone and impressed that everyone would just do what I said. So I said, let's take it further, and I invited all of those people to post an ugly selfie on their Instagram, because I think we all care way too much about how we look on social media. It's creating fears in our life, because social media is a place you get judged all the time, right? And so I said, everyone post an ugly selfie on Instagram, and in 24 hours, 100,000 people did it. I did it myself, of course, to encourage people. This is my favorite. Yeah, I have a nice job. Like, I had to review all those ugly selfies and pick my favorite. And so then we took it to the next level, where I started nominating some famous people. This is N. Solelgort from the 14 Stars, Shawn Mendes, King Batch from Beine. I started inviting celebrities to do it themselves, because if 100,000 people can do it, like, they can do it too. And then it went completely viral, and 300,000 people did it over the course of a few days. So that was great, and then we ended up, by the end of the week, doing it live on TV on Good Morning America. So yeah, all this from just a little idea of what if we ask people to do a GrapeStory. I'm going to show you one last piece of work before we get into it. So after the GrapeStory, after making them lay on the ground and the GrapeStory, I told myself, what if I tell people to go sing in random places, in the subway, in a shop, and really like make themselves ridiculous and like take some risks. And again, I got amazing answers.
You can tell me when it's over.
Pretty, oh so pretty and ready and bright. I'm gonna sing to the chandelier, chandelier.
Heaven sent, saw you there and I thought, oh my gosh, look at that face. You look. Nice to meet you. Where you've been? I can show you incredible things.
No.
Cause I got a blank space, baby. And I'm ready to turn it. If you ain't.
So, yes, this was, making people do things is very much part of what I do. And so now that you've seen some of my work, you see it's happening in real life, it's happening in real time, it involves a lot of people. Before I can start really talking about what I'm here for, I want to give you some context on my story, because I think it's important, like further in social media, that you understand, that you just learn a bit about me very quick. And so I've got this video that is just 5 minutes long only, and then I don't have to talk about me after that. It's 5 minutes long, you will have a lot of context, and it also gives you context about my relationship with branded social media marketing. So can we play this video, please? Awesome. The meeting starts in 5 minutes. This is freedom.
Is he filming the meeting?
Yeah.
We can't film on this one.
Okay, that's fine.
It'll be the full year.
That's huge.
So I've been thinking a lot, and to understand what's going on through my head, you need to understand who I am. The story starts like this. In a small French town, a beautiful girl named Agnès falls in love with Jean-Robert, the accordéoniste. Yes, my dad is a professional accordéonist. 2 years later, I am born. Soon after, my dad asks for the divorce and basically abandons us. My mom has no money, but she figures as long as she can keep love in the center of my life, we will be okay. My mom's job moves us from city to city. This means every 2 years we have to reset. New city, new school, new everything. The kids in school don't like me very much, and I get bullied in school every day for the incredible clothes my mom is choosing me, for my amazingly cool hobbies outside of school, and for my super awkward adolescent growth. I grew up completely insecure about myself and my existence. And then here I am, 19 years old, drinking and partying way too much, completely unhappy with life. That's when I decided to reset everything. This means taking a big risk. I drop out of business school and buy a one-way ticket to China, where I meet another traveler named Chris Carmichael. Chris teaches me English and, more importantly, an entirely new way of thinking about life.
Just imagine, Jerome, you're 99 years old and you're on your deathbed. All of a sudden you have a chance to come back to right now. What would you do?
This line changes everything for me. I realize that life is about living at your full potential, getting out of your comfort zone and challenging yourself every day. So I challenged myself to create my own company. I failed, but I continue to challenge myself. I learned Mandarin, I backpacked the world. I moved to Toronto to run a software company with Chris. This is all exciting, but the truth is I'm still struggling with my own happiness and I'm not sure what is my purpose in life. That's when I download the new app Vine. I start shooting videos for fun. I realize the sillier I make them, the more people love it. This pushes my craziness to the next level. And I start recording every day something that scares me and makes me laugh. Why is everybody afraid of love?
Love!
Next thing I know, people start to recognize me in the street.
Oh my god, you're the Vine guy!
I'm feeling it. Something big is happening. It's time to take another risk. So I reset again. I packed my bag and moved to New York with nothing but $400 in my pocket. For the next 6 months, I'm pretty much homeless, sleeping on people's floor, offices, or wherever I can. Vine becomes my only form of happiness. I become obsessed with the app. That's when I created the first talent agency for Beine with my partner Gary B. I finished the year with 4 million subscribers. At the beginning, I don't really know how to deal with all this attention. But over time, I realized instead of running away from it, I could make all those people part of my journey. That they were not just fans, but more like a new global network of friends. Because of those friends, I got to experience the craziest year of my life.
Jerome, you're fantastic.
And then here we are, in New York City, talking to one of the largest brands in the world. My entire life is about to change again. I'm about to become a millionaire. That's when deep down, something tells me to think twice. Is my mission...
I'm just gonna save us some time so we can... But basically, I refused this $1 million deal, and for many reasons that I didn't necessarily explain quite well in this video, but the main reason was that this was a candy company, very chemical candies. Like, I'm not gonna give it the name, but I had a problem with my ethic of working with this brand that was not something I would ever eat or ever make my brother eat. And why would I, no matter how much money we give me, why would I make millions of kids around the world eat those candies? And when I refused this crazy amount of money, especially for this industry, buying Snapchat, everybody said I was crazy. Even in my family, people told me I was gonna regret it in the future. And so this was 6 months ago. This was in November. And over the last 6 months, I'll give you like a few updates after this video. So first of all, I stopped the marketing agency that I had, of course, like after doing this and posting it online. Especially because the guy that was in the room was Gary Vaynerchuk, my business partner. He didn't know I was going to refuse this deal, and he worked hard on getting it. So when so like you can imagine why we stopped working together after this video. But this is great. This is obviously what I wanted. So yeah, now I'm just working by myself. The second thing is I made this $1 million without working with companies that I didn't like. It took me 6 months instead of 1 day, but I only worked with companies that I believe are adding value into this world, and I didn't put much on my content for my followers, but instead I did some consultancy and just explained the brands what to do. And so this was more work, but this was so much better for like my esteem of myself. And then the third update is that I not only did I make this $1 million, but I also convinced a big beverage brand to give $1 million for a humanitarian project that I did in the Philippines and in Colombia, where we install electricity in places that don't have electricity, and so basically it's $2 million. I mean, this was, and without having to do any promotion, just for this humanitarian project. So what I've learned out of this is that I'm gonna always listen to my instinct. Like this is the proof to me that again, when people tell you, you know, you made a mistake or whatever, like just do what feels right. And the second big thing that I've learned that is more about this industry is you can bend the rules. Like there's a lot of rules in the big industry like advertisement and marketing and social media. And we can bend those rules. Like there is no rules. It's all, there's no laws, right? It's all made up concepts. So that's why I discovered when I was able to get this $1 million for the humanitarian project without having to do any marketing post. Now, I want to explain you why I've got this conflict. I've had a big conflict in my head for a long time about should I work with brands or not. And what a lot of people don't necessarily realize is social media is an art form. The first videos I was showing you, this is a new art form. You know, like this is as much an art form as movies are an art form. It's not because it's short. It's not because it's made on mobile that it should be called any less than art. And when you do art, the purpose of art is to help humans move forward, is to improve society, to create discussion, create ideas, and certainly not sell products, right? Like when you look back in history, all the most important pieces of art, like Picasso was not trying to sell you Coke, right? And if he was doing this, maybe we wouldn't look at his work anymore. So that's why I've had this conflict in my head. And before going any further, I would like to remind everyone something, and it's pretty heavy, but it's really important, is that marketing advertisement, which is, I hope I'm right, is everyone's industry here, right? Yes? Comes from propaganda. Propaganda is the father of advertising and marketing. And like if you look back in history, this is why we end up all working in advertising and marketing. Is the story is like that. Like the first time we've ever traced a record of propaganda in history was in Germany during a very sad time in the Nazis. And Edouard Brunet, which was a nephew of Sigmund Freud, saw that and bring it to America and renamed it public relations. And because he was not going to call it propaganda, that sounded terrible. And he renamed it public relations and called a lot of, and created a very successful public firm. And what he did with his knowledge that he learned from the Nazis is not really good. Like first he started working with brands. He helped, a bacon company came to him and said, hey, can you help us sell more bacon? Nobody likes to eat bacon much. Sure, he had a great idea. He hired some doctors to make some studies saying how great bacon is for your breakfast. And skip forward a few years later, all Americans are eating bacon for breakfast, and they're still doing it. That's not so bad, but a few years later, Lucky Strikes came to him saying, nobody likes to smoke anymore, women don't smoke, men are smoking less and less, like, do you have an idea? And he said, yes, I have an idea. There is women doing a revolution, liberation. So there is women striking, walking in New York in the streets. We're gonna pay the most beautiful ones to smoke Lucky Strikes. And we're gonna take photography, and it's gonna be all over the news around the world, and cigarette will become the symbol of the revolution for women, and this will make it sexy, and men will smoke more. And that's exactly what he did, and that's maybe why we're still smoking cigarettes in 2015. And then he took it to an even more dirty level. He started working for governments. And the American government hired him first to help put fluoride in the water. Fluoride in America, in the water, in the tap water you take, there is fluoride, and it's chemicals, and it's not good for you. And he invented this genius idea that it was good for your teeth. Genius. Like, how else could you make millions of people consume chemicals than telling it's good for the teeth? By the way, fluoride is illegal in the water in Germany, and France, and Europe. So there's a reason for that. And then he took it to an even further level. The American government said, we have a problem in Guatemala. We have some conflict in one of our big banana company, and we're losing a lot of money. We need some help. Do you have an idea? And he said, sure. There's some conflicts in the street. There's some crime, a little bit of crime. Let's pretend it's communism. Let's say communism is rising in Guatemala, close to America. We need an intervention. We need to do something. Everybody was so scared of communism at that time. And so the entire American people believed in his strategy, in this trick, and started asking for the government to go to Guatemala. And what happened next is very sad. Like 300,000 civilians died from the civil war in Guatemala. So this is the father, this guy, and this story is the beginning and the father of our industry. That's as heavy as it is to take. This is something to keep in mind. Like propaganda, marketing, advertisement is a very powerful tool. But I don't believe that evil is the only option, you know? Like, I believe everyone in this room has good intention, everyone in this room has good in them, and I'm not pointing at advertisement, I'm just saying this is a very powerful tool. Some people have used it for wrong. Okay, let's move forward. So, now the reason why a lot of companies are struggling with the social media is because you can't lie on social media. And like we just saw, a lot of companies have been used to use advertisement to lie, to make up stories, to look better than they actually are. And that's not how social media works. You can't look better than you actually are on social media. You have to be honest, you have to be true, you have to be transparent, and if you suck, your social media is gonna suck. So something I always like to explain, and I'm sure 50% of the people in this room already know that, but it's really worth it for the other 50, is the big difference between likes, followers, and engagement. Let me just review, who doesn't know the difference between followers and, who knows the difference between followers and engagement? Raise your hand if you know, and I shouldn't explain that. All right, I'm gonna explain. So, I'm gonna show you very quick. Can I get the camera back on my phone? This is gonna be very simple to explain you. No sound. So you take You take Total, okay, the company Total that produces gas. You go on their Facebook, they have close to 3 million likes. Okay? 3 million followers on this page. Now, if you look at how many likes those posts get, 5. You really think 3 million people saw this and nobody wanted to like it? Yes. This means two things. This means either people really don't care, or either those followers' likes are also boosted up and fake, because you can buy fake likes, fake followers, but you can't buy fake engagement. Like, you can't buy fake. It's way more difficult to buy fake things on every post than it is for your entire page. That's my point. So you see one comment, like there's one random person that cared about this post, making it happen, like probably a guy that works at Total. Now, some companies are ashamed of nothing. They go further. Let's take Pepsi. 33 million likes. Wow, great, big success, huh? 27 likes on this post. 6 comments. 6 comments. And this is like one guy promoting his page. So, you see, there's very high chances, when you see something like that, there's very high chances that the company bought those likes. So they're actually robots. It's actually not real humans behind. This means nothing. Don't ever look at how many people are following someone, how many likes a page has been, how many times a page has been liked. Just look at how many the last post is getting. Because this is a reflection of how many people are caring right now. So yeah, if I wanted to explain this, is because, like you can see, those giant corporations that have tons of money and that spend tons of money on the marketing are struggling with social media. Surprising, right? Like, they were not struggling with the TV campaigns, they were not struggling with the print campaigns, but they're struggling with social media, and that's because you can't lie on social media. So another theme of the conference is new platform advertising, but as you've seen over the last 20 minutes I was talking, that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about today is to rethink advertising. To rethink advertising. Not to try to adapt what's been done in the past into platforms that are revolutionary. You know, those platforms, social media is a revolution, and companies need to revolutionize their advertising, their marketing, their communication, because human beings are doing that. So let's talk about how 99% of companies do the social media advertising, strategy, marketing. Most of companies have a marketing department and they hire a social media agency. Very often, this is the same agency that do the print, the TV. Sometimes this is a special agency. No matter if this is a special agency or not a special agency, in both cases, you can't be successful if you do that. Because your social media is a transparent door to what your company is actually doing. What's actually going on? What is the stories happening within your company? And if you can't handle the truth, and you need to hire an agency to make up stories, then your company is probably not doing good things in the world. And people are gonna feel it that this is not coming from you, this is not real. Because this is what agencies do. They create cheesy concept to get some likes, to get some engagement. So like, they will create let's take a random example. Whole Food. Do you guys know Whole Food? Like this is the supermarkets in the US that you can buy all kind of food. If you go on the social media, it's probably gonna be terrible, and you're gonna see stuff like Cheesy Friday, like everybody takes a picture of the cheese or whatever, and it's all stuff that so not personal, so not human talking to human. It's made up concept in an office, but some interns that don't really care about the brand, that know nothing about the brand, except they were asked a month ago to take this account. And in the meantime, hundreds of amazing stories happening every day on the Whole Food stores. You know, some couples are meeting there. One woman gave birth this morning in a Whole Food store. Why this is not on the social media? We would all care about that because this is human stories. This is what we want to see on social media, real stories. So, I believe that advertisement on social media needs a complete revolution, and we are completely thinking it backward because we are trying to adapt it. Now, to summarize the next 15 minutes, what we're going to talk about, if you want your company to do good on social media, then be a good company. That's all. That's the secret.
What is the secret again?
If you want your company to do good on social media, then be a good company.
Okay, so let me see.
Thank you.